What are good personality traits that would make you a successful indoor playground owner? Let's talk about it. I owned an indoor playground for 5 years, and I mostly did it just because I went to visit all these other really cool indoor playgrounds in other areas. And I was just like, man, why isn't there one in my area? At that time, I had a 3 and a 1 year old, and I opened one. That actually was my first mistake, but I can talk about that at a later date. But today, I really want to talk to you guys about my personality and how some of my traits might or might not have been good for the indoor playground environment. Do I like kids? I'm indifferent. I don't love kids, but I don't dislike kids. I like my own kids. I like my friends' kids. Being an indoor playground owner doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like kids, because you're not always doing one-on-one time with kids. You have to remember, indoor playgrounds are mostly areas where parents take their kids, so that way parents can interact with their own kids and watch their own kids. So are you really interacting with the kids very much while you're there? No, not really. You're dealing mostly with the parents. So really, is it about really liking kids? No. But do you have to have the patience to deal with screaming all day and maybe cleaning up messes? Yes, definitely. But mostly it is dealing with adults. With that being said, I do think that having a tolerant nature is probably good. I'm actually not really known for that. I am a very matter of fact person. So if something happens, you're going to hear certain tones in my voice, because I have a very hard time of hiding certain feelings if a problem arises. But I do think that you have to be a good problem solver. And I say this for any business. Any person that is a business owner needs to be a good problem solver, because every single time something arises in your business, the first realm of defense that they're going to go to is you, because you are the business owner. So you have to be quick on your feet. You have to make decisions fast. And you have to be a good problem solver, so that way you can compromise with the situation, but also with the client as well. Making tough decisions is also one of those things. And I think that those are very important qualities to have. As far as hobbies are concerned, like, what exactly do you love to do that kind of correlates with being an indoor playground owner? Do you like to plan birthday parties, or decorate birthday parties and run birthday parties? If you thrive in that, where you are constantly running around, keeping people on a schedule, decorating for birthday parties, then you might really love being an indoor playground owner. Although open play service has a main component in your business, it's really not where indoor playgrounds are supposed to thrive. We make most of our money for birthday parties. If you don't love the aspect of birthday parties, this role of being an indoor playground owner can be very taxing on you. I am a Gemini, so I can be somewhat of an extrovert and an introvert. And a lot of times I have a very low social battery. So that actually did not help me in any aspect as far as owning an indoor playground goes. For instance, on any particular weekend, we would have anywhere between 2 on a very slow weekend to maybe 8 on a really busy weekend. And as you can imagine, if we have 8 birthday parties that weekend, my social battery is going to be pretty low. Usually around that time, am I a little bit more reserved, less talkative, a little bit less smiley? Yes, because I am basically kind of done with people. That kind of translates into your job, especially if you're there 60 hours a week. If you're one of those people that just thrive on human contact all the time, then you might really love being an indoor playground owner. Am I saying that people who don't have these traits can't do these things? Not at all. I have many flaws. I knew myself very, very well, and I was able to run that business for 5 years, but it was actually very taxing on me. Do you like planning events? One of the big things is, like, we used to plan events. Are you a creative person? Now, this is a big thing. I always see indoor playgrounds owner all the time message me, asking me for ideas on what they can do to kind of help bring traffic to their business. You have to be very, very creative. Think outside the box. Also follow trends and things like that. What are really popular things that you can bring to your playground? What are things that people haven't done before to really help bring in new business? So having a creative nature really does help with that. So planning events, being creative. If you have a teaching background, it's probably perfect to be an indoor playground owner. You already have the patience. You already understand children. It will help because I feel like open play is one of the misconceptions of indoor playgrounds, that people think that they can make money just off open play. It's actually one of the services that I think are the lowest service on your totem of services that you should provide. I actually think that parties and classes is where they're at. So if you have a teaching background, or you thrive in this environment where you can teach people, teach skills, teach kids, dance and sing to kids without feeling embarrassed, that is a great trait to have, especially if you are an indoor playground owner, because you can run classes yourself and then get paid for running those classes and not having to hire a staff to do those classes. I think the ability to teach a class is very, very important, especially a class that is relatable to kids. One of the things I like about owning a business is that you get to make your own schedule. Yes, that's amazing. So if you like that about entrepreneurship, you're going to love being an indoor playground owner. I always catered my schedule around to my kids' schedule. Sometimes people will ask, why are you not open in the afternoon? Because I have my kids in the afternoon and we do things in the afternoon. I opened my indoor playground in the morning, picked up my kids, and the rest of the day we did things with our family. So it's really nice to be able to cater your schedule to that. However, that being said, you will not have any weekends to yourself unless you have a full-time staff. And obviously in the first few years, you might not have a full-time staff. You might not be able to make enough money to have full-time staff. So you're going to be working a lot of weekends. Are you somebody that is able to sacrifice a lot of your weekend time to be able to have your indoor playground thrive? Are you somebody that gives up easily? That is definitely a component that's very, very important, especially to the survival of your business and to be able to last long term. Do you have a thick skin? Now, I think that business owners get into business not realizing that people are going to criticize you as a business, but also you as a person. They will talk about you in mom groups. They will gossip about you. When they know that you own that business, sometimes it can hurt. It can hurt your feelings. They will write reviews about you and specifically name you by name. Are you thick-skinned enough to be able to take that criticism? Now, with that said, I don't believe that every criticism or every review is valid. I don't always think the customer is right. No matter how perfect you are, no matter how much of a people pleaser you are, you will still get certain people that just don't like you, and that's totally fine. Sometimes you attract people and detract people, and I think everything that you put out there can attract and detract people. And just remember, if you're detracting somebody, you are attracting somebody that is more of your customer, and that's a good thing. Last but not least, I will say the most important thing about owning an indoor playground is having a need to provide a service to the community. I think so many times people get into the indoor playground business almost for the wrong reasons, and I kind of feel like maybe I did this too. We get into it thinking that maybe it would be a business that will make a ton of money. I'm not saying you cannot make a profit. I'm not saying that at all. And I do see a lot of indoor playgrounds thrive. And I will admit to you guys too that when I owned my indoor playground the last year or so, I felt like I was living a very comfortable life for myself. But at the end of the day, you're not going to make it rich from this. You might make enough to, to live a comfortable life and be able to pay your bills, but you might feel like you're working paycheck to paycheck. And I don't know if people get into business because they want to feel like they're working a corporate job. At the end of the day, it's a really rewarding business because you are providing a service to so many people in your community. If you're somebody that's really selfless and that's all you want to do, you want to be able to provide this service to your community, then this is the job for you. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that everybody gets into business because that is their forefront goal. So that's my take on what kind of personality it takes to be an indoor playground owner. Let me know your thoughts. Talk to you next time.